Hello students, welcome to today's session. We are going to see calculation of payback period with a variable cash inflows. This is we have already discussed in the last class, but this is a part C problem. First, let me explain the problem. X Limited has to choose one of the two alternative missions. Calculate payback period from the following. So in brackets it is given profits before tax and after depreciation. This kind of problem we have already worked out, and now it has been given for the 5 years you have some cash inflows for two machines, machine P as well as machine Q. And the new thing you have to learn is cost of the machine is given as 2 lakhs for machine P and 2.5 lakhs for machine Q, and the estimated life for that particular machine is 5 years for machine P and 5 years for machine Q, and the tax rate is 50% each. And now we are going to calculate separately for both machine P as well as machine Q, and we have to advise them from among these two which one is better, that is preferable for the good payback period. So coming to the solution, first you start writing calculation of cash inflows for machine P. Particulars: first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. So you have 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 60,000 and 40,000 for machine P, and you write there. After that, what we have to do is before tax, so you have to minus tax. After depreciation, so that you have to add depreciation. This is the important hint you have to remember. So first thing what you are going to do, we are calculating profit before tax. So write the cash inflows which is given in the problem as such. After that, you reduce tax at 50% as it is given that for machine P tax is 50%. So that 30,000 is the tax, and here 35,000, here 40,000, here 30,000, and here 20,000. After reducing tax, you get the values to be like this. This is profit after tax, but before and after depreciation. Yes. And what you are going to do is you have to add depreciation. Have it in mind. This is add plus depreciation. So how we are going to calculate depreciation? This is very simple in this particular method, because life is estimated to be 5 years and 2 lakhs is given to be the cost of the machine. So that what you do, you divide the cost of the machine divided by the number of estimated years. So what you get, 2 lakh divided by 5, you get 40,000. So each year you are adding 40,000. So if you add for the first year with the 30,000, if you add 40,000, you get the cash inflow for first year to be 70,000. Simultaneously the same way, 40,000 plus 35,000, 75, and 40 plus 40, 80,000, 40 plus 30, 70,000, and 40 plus 20, 60,000. So this is what the expected cash inflows for the machine P. Yes, just now what you have done is you have calculated the cash inflow and not the payback period. So coming to the calculation of payback period, what you have to do is you have to take into account only this cash inflow which you have found out, because this is the actual cash inflow after depreciation and before tax. So you got that particular cash inflow, you take and write cash inflow 70,000, 75,000, 80,000, 70,000 and 60,000. And do you remember the cumulative method? What you will do in order to do the cumulative method, how you'll do, you'll take and write the cumulative. First year will be the same as it's 70. Second cumulative would be 70,000 plus 75,000, it becomes 1,45,000, and 1,45,000 plus 80,000, it becomes 2,25,000, and 2,25,000 plus 70,000, it becomes 2,95,000, and 2,95,000 plus 60,000, you get 3,55,000. Now coming to the problem, what is said that what is the investment? So here the investment is 2 lakhs. You are going to purchase, the cost of the machine is 2 lakhs. So where you come across that 2 lakhs within second year, in between second year and third year itself, you get the 2 lakhs. So that how you do, you have already learned the formula for payback period. What is that? What is the payback period? Equal to completed years divided by the proportionate years. So investment as it is, it lies between second year as well as the third year. So that what you write, second year is finished 1,45,000. So that 2 years has been finished, and in order to find out how many months you need in order to get the accurate payback period, what you do, you write the expected 2 lakh investment minus 1,45,000 divided by third year cash inflow 80,000. So you get 2.69 years. If you have already gone through my previous payback period lessons, you can come across this easily because this is the 10 marks question. So if you are unable to follow, you go through the previous sessions so that you can easily understand how we came across finding out the payback period. And now, so it comes 2.69 for mission P. And when you come for mission Q, again the same way you have to calculate. Take and write the profit before tax and after depreciation. So write 80,000, 1 lakh, 80,000, 70,000 and 60,000. Now what you have to do, first you have to minus tax. That is also 50%, so that 40,000, 50,000, 40,000, 35,000 and 30,000. So what you get is profit after tax and depreciation, so that you get 40, 50, 40, 35, 30. Now add depreciation. This is the important hint. You have to have it in mind. So you have to add depreciation. How will you calculate depreciation? The total cost of the mission is 2.5 lakhs. So 2,50,000 divided by number of estimated life. So 2,50,000 divided by 5. So you get 50,000. You add 50,000 for each and every year. So what you get, the cash inflow to be 50 plus 40, 90,000, 1 lakh, 90,000, 85,000 and 80,000. So this is how you come across to find out cash inflow, which is before, the given is before tax and after depreciation, and this is what the actual cash inflow by which you can find out the payback period. Yes, now you have arrived this. Now after that, the second part is calculation of payback period. And the inflow, what you have found out to be written in this column as inflow, as I don't have space, I didn't write in this way. So this is the right way of doing the problem. So here is in the first column, and the second column is the cash inflow, that is 90, 1 lakh, 90, 85, 80,000, that is the inflow, cash inflow. And the third column is the cumulative cash inflow. How you will find out? 90,000 is the same for the cumulative for the first year. For the second year, 90,000 plus 1 lakh, you get 1 lakh 90,000, and 1 lakh 90,000 plus 90,000, you get 2 lakh 80,000, and 2 lakh 80,000 plus 85,000, you get 3 lakh 65,000, and 3 lakh 65,000 plus 80,000, you get 4 lakh 45,000. Now, what is the investment actually you need? You need only 2.5 lakhs. So where does 2.5 lakhs lies? The 2.5 lies between the second year as well as the third year. So the machine cost is 2,50,000, and the amount of cash inflow is lying between second year and third year, and you are using the formula payback period is equal to 2 years plus 2,50,000 is the expected machine amount, investment amount, minus the 1,90,000 which we have already reaped in the previous year, divided by the third year inflow, cash inflow 90,000. So when we divide this, we get 2 years plus 60,000 divided by 90,000, 2.67 years. So now when you compare 2.69 and 2.67, there is only a meager difference, but even then the payback period is wise, that is shorter in machine Q. So we prefer machine Q has a shorter payback period, so that we prefer machine Q to be the better investment. This is a new topic, NPV method, net present value method. So directly I'm going to the problem. I'm explaining. There is a project A which costs 25,000. The cost of capital is 10%, and you are asked to suggest if the project should be accepted or not. That is, 5 years is given, and cash inflow is also given, and the present value at the rate of ₹1 at 10% is 909, 0.909, 0.826, 0.751, 0.683 and 0.621 is given. What is the meaning of present value at ₹1 at 10% rate? In the sense is, that is, at the end of 1 year, what might be the value for that particular cash inflow. So now how you are going to calculate the net present value? So for that purpose, you open 4 columns: year, cash inflow, present value at 10% rate, and the present value. So directly you write what is the cash inflow: 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, and after that the value which is given: 0.909, 0.826, 751, 0.683. That also you write. Very simple. You have to multiply the cash inflow with the present value. So that is what the hint I have given. Present value equal to present value at 10%, present value at 10% into cash inflow, that is 9,000 into 9.909 equal to 8,181. Same way 8,000 into 0.826 is 6,608. Like the same way, if we multiply this column into this column, you get the total present value to be 27,249. And what is said that project A cost 25,000. So the investment is 25,000. So naturally you are reducing from the total present value from 27,249, you are reducing 25,000. You get the net NPV to be 2,249. This gives a positive sign. That is, the total present value is higher. So that we can, prefer this particular project A. So project A is preferable. It gives 2,249 positive than the investment. And the next problem you have here, see, find the NPV using 10% discount rate, present value of rupee due at the end of first year 0.909, 0.9826 and 0.751. As it is given here it is given in a different way. And you have the investment, you had only project A to be your investment. Here you have 4 investments, P, Q, R, S. What is the initial outlay? That is, the investment is constant. For every P, Q, R, S, the investment is just 20,000. And what is the cash inflow? For the first year, you get 20,000, for Q10, for R2, and for S, 20,000. For second year, for P, nil. So this is the problem. I hope when you see again, you can understand the problem. So now we are going to find out the calculation of net present value when the investment is constant, that is 20,000. You are applying this model. So write 1, 2, 3 years. Like the same way, you write 1, 2, 3 years. And the net present value, which is given here, 0.909, 0.826, 0.751. Now, you have 4 columns. You open 4 columns wherein inside P, column P, what you write? The cash inflow is 20,000. So what is the present value? 20,000 into 0.909, you get 18,180. And what is for Q? Q, the cash inflow is for the first year 10,000. Like this way you take. Okay, 20,000, 10,000, 2,000 and 20,000. It is multiplied by 0.909. You get this amounts. That is 9090, 1,818, 18,180. And for the second year, what you do? This is the second year. For the first year, what is the, for P, nil is the cash inflow. There is no cash inflow. For Q, 10,000. For R, 10,000. For S, 2,000. Same way, 0.826. You are multiplying by this, so you get the same answer. Like this way, you get the answer. And for the third year, this is the third year, nil. P, nil. For Q, 10,000. And 10,000 into 0.751, you get 7,500. Simultaneously, you do all these things. The total present value, what you get? This column, 18,180. When you add these 3, you get 24,860, like the same way. You are, as per the format, what you have to do, you have to reduce the investment. In this problem, the investment is 20,000, which is constant. So from P, Q, R, S, you reduce 20,000. What is the net present value you get? Here, minus 1,820. See, it gives a negative target. That is, this project is not suitable. And next one, it gives 4,860. And C, R, the project R, 12,608, which is really highly positive, so that we prefer R and it has the highest NPV.